So the title and the thumbnail of this video, they're not clickbait. I actually think that PayPal is never coming to Nigeria, and you want to stick with me to the very end of the video to understand why I have this very strong opinion. And also, if you are someone who is into arbitrage or money exchange, or you're trying to get into arbitrage and exchange in Nigeria, you also want to stick to the end of the video because you're going to learn certain rules that you need to follow if you want to have a successful arbitrage or exchange business. But first, before we continue, I want to say a big shout out to the African giant of the African Giants Make Money Online YouTube channel. He's somebody I respect so much. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and his work. And there's this thing that he's doing actually on his YouTube channel, where he's trying to get his subscribers to sign a petition to bring to PayPal's notice that Nigeria is long overdue to become fully functional, to have a PayPal accounts that are fully functional. And that's a movement I actually believe in, and I respect him for taking that position of leadership and trying to do things the right way and trying to get us through the door and not through the window. I hate that I have to make videos showing you guys how to cut corners to create PayPal accounts and stuff. We shouldn't be doing this. Trying to say that this video is in no way trying to counter his work or anything. I have signed that petition. I'm probably going to post it on our community here on our YouTube channel to get more people to actually sign that. But I want to be the voice of reason from an alternate perspective. Okay, I want to kind of see things from PayPal's perspective as well and understand why they are not allowing Nigerians to actually have PayPal accounts. Okay, so stick with me. This is a very interesting topic to discuss. So the first thing to understand is that there are so many reasons why PayPal should already be in Nigeria. And the fact that with all of these reasons, definitely they know these reasons, they see it, they are big business companies, and they know where there is opportunity. They must have seen it, yet they are choosing to pass. So that's already a good sign to tell you that they may never come to the country, because they know, they see all of the good things, but like they are not willing to take on all of these good things with all the bad that comes alongside it. Okay, so but first let's talk about like all of these good things, or the reasons why PayPal should have already set foot and put a stronghold here in Nigeria. The first reason I think is that Nigeria is a growing economy with a huge gap in literally every market, including the financial industry. There's a rush right now of fintech companies here in Nigeria rising and becoming like unicorns. You know the Flutterwave story, you know the Paystacks of this world. There are companies like GegPay, there is Grey.co, many different types of financial companies coming up to fill this gap. And the reason is because Nigeria is a growing economy, and PayPal has been here for long, and they know that there is a market, but still they are not here. And that's one of the good reasons why they should be here, that they're not here. It's a growing economy. Why should you not be here? Number two is Nigeria is the most populous black nation, and where there is people, there is also money. The sheer number of people in the country makes it a fertile ground for investors. In fact, PayPal probably stands more to lose by not being here. I strongly believe this. I do think that the population of the country makes it a fertile ground for any type of investor to come in and make a lot of money for themselves. And the final reason I think is that the country has a very high concentration of young, vibrant, and brilliant tech-savvy people. Therefore, a service such as PayPal will find a vast majority of people ready to use and, of course, abuse it. And more on the abuse later. But you understand my point. Like, Nigeria is a very vibrant place. Everybody knows this. Nigerians are fun-loving people. They want to jump on any new idea. They're very daring people. They're very adventurous people. If you introduce a product, they look at it like, yeah, I want to know what that does. They're very curious people. And it's also a country with a lot of young people. And why would you not want to come into that kind of place and do business? These are all the good reasons. And now let's move to the reasons why I think PayPal is never coming into Nigeria. There's two major reasons. Of course, I think there's more, but there's two major reasons for me. The obvious one is that internet fraudsters in the country will have direct access to their prey and make their nefarious schemes a lot easier. This is true, and this is the one that a lot of people have in the back of their heads, including Nigerians. They're like, yeah, we get it, like we're the country that's known for internet fraud, and that's why PayPal doesn't want to come. And it makes a lot of sense, because there are a lot of these fraudsters who, because they don't have access to a tool like PayPal, cannot actually, they have to cut corners, just like legitimate businesses like you and I hope, are trying to cut corners to try to get on PayPal and do stuff. That's how these guys have to cut corners as well to try to get their victims to send money to them or to defraud them. Okay, so because PayPal is not fully functional, it doesn't make their business a lot easy, just like it doesn't make a legitimate business easy as well. And that is why they are cutting us off, I think. But the next reason, and the number 2 reason, which I think is one of the biggest reasons why PayPal may never come to Nigeria, is due to the fact that PayPal has this policy around disputes, claims, chargebacks, and bank reversals that makes it so easy for anybody to become a scam artist. Most of you may not have experienced this, but your account can actually go into the negative on PayPal, and this happens when you provide a service or you do business with somebody. Maybe they send you money, and after a while you get a notification that there's a claim, or there's a request for bank reversal, or there's a dispute opened on a particular transaction, and that money will be reversed or sent back to the person who you have transacted with, and sending your account actually into a negative. And what happens is it's actually PayPal that pays this money most of the time, because once people receive money, oftentimes they will withdraw it into their bank accounts, and maybe their account is on zero. Whether or not your account has money in it, if a dispute is opened, PayPal has to pay that money back if they do their investigations. Honestly, that's another thing about PayPal. I don't understand how they do these investigations, but they will tell you they've done their investigations and have ruled in favor of the buyer. 9 times out of 10, they rule in favor of the buyer. The investigation process is not very transparent. They don't reach out to sellers and really explain, provide proof of the transaction and all of that stuff. They just do their own thing and tell you that the buyer has won, and now they're going to send the money back to the buyer. And so they're taking advantage of this easy reversal, bank reversal, claims, chargeback policies to actually take money off of PayPal, directly from PayPal. And I do think that this is one of the biggest reasons, if not the singular reason, why PayPal may never come to Nigeria or countries like Nigeria, because Nigeria is a country where there's a lot of unemployment, and trust me, even people who have no intentions, no single bone in their body of getting into fraud, could look at this as a lucrative business because of how easy it is. I just pretend like I want to buy stuff from someone, send them like $1,000, they will send me the Naira equivalent, and then after that I'm going to go back and ask for a reversal or create a dispute and have my $1,000 back after I've already received the money or the service or the product or whatever. And so that's like eating your cake and having it back. It's the easiest way to get scammed on the internet, really, and through PayPal. And they know that Nigeria is a country where it has a lot of potential, and so because of this, they may never come to Nigeria. It makes a lot of sense. So the reason why I'm making this video is for us to be very objective. Okay, I like to be objective, and also open up your mind to other alternatives. PayPal is not the only way that you can receive money. I'm beginning to set up my business in such a way that it's not overly dependent on PayPal, because I see that I may always have to cut corners. But of course, on the channel, we're going to keep bringing you guys updates on how to create PayPal accounts without a headache. That's a very big claim, because PayPal will always give you a headache. Even the people in the US and the UK, in the first world countries, quote unquote, always complain about PayPal. So to say that they are going to not give you a headache is like a big claim. Okay, but still, I'm going to bring you guys videos, of course, on how we are trying to create PayPal accounts with less stress and run it as well without much trouble. So yes, it makes sense that you're more interested in PayPal, but when we try to show you other alternatives, which we're going to do, we also want to heighten your interest on that, and by telling you that PayPal may not have us at all in their mind, in their books. Okay, so you might want to find ways to educate your clients, or find ways to collect money from the outside world through another means. So I'm going to wrap up this video by saying that I do not think that Nigeria is a terrible place. Okay, I've had personal experiences, and sort of like an experiment, if I would say, by myself, because we shut down our arbitrage business and PayPal exchange and all of that because of this kind of experience where people are trying to scam you. We transacted with 30, maybe 40 different people while we were doing that, and only one person tried to pull off the chargeback scam on us. For every one bad person you see, or any one scammer in Nigeria that you see, there's probably 30 to 40 to 50 good people who are trying to make their living an honest way. Okay, I dealt with 40 people and met only one shady person. So I'm saying this to say, look, I'm Nigerian. If you're Nigerian, you're probably going to be thinking to yourself that I'm trying to put down my country in the eyes of the rest of the world. I like to be objective. I like to tell it as it is, and I think that yes, there's a lot of internet fraudsters and a lot of things are wrong with the country that I'm from, and that needs to be said. But then again, we also need to look at why. Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world with over 200 million people. It's only natural that there are going to be a few bad eggs, more than a few bad eggs with that number. I mean, look at the US. US has like 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce. The US accounts for over 63% of serial killers in the world. I mean, internet fraud is also very, very existent and very common in the US. And the reason is not far-fetched. The US has about 330 million people in population. Asia is the most populous continent in the world. And it's no surprise as well that most Asian countries are in the blacklist of most companies. They are so many that you don't expect that you're not going to see almost the same amount of good people as you see when it comes to bad guys. And the problem with this type of things is that when something is bad, it's loud. If there's a bucket of clean water, it just takes a little bit of dirt for the entire pool of water to look like it's dirty. So that's what happens. Nigeria is not a bad country. It's just a country with huge population, and of course with population comes the trouble of getting a few bad eggs. That's what I think, and I've ruled out the possibility. I'm going to follow any movements, of course, that try to bring PayPal to Nigeria, but I don't keep my hopes up. I don't think that PayPal is ever coming to Nigeria. Maybe things will happen. Maybe the change of policies in Nigeria, we trying to portray ourselves to the world as actually respectable, decent people, and the reduction in internet fraud from our part, and many things can happen to actually change this. This opinion is not binding, but for where I'm seeing things now and in the near future, I don't expect PayPal to ever come to Nigeria. And talking about arbitrage and exchange, if you want to get into this business, or you already are in this business in Nigeria or even any other country, you want to watch this next video where I talk about all the things, like the golden rules that you have to follow to have a successful arbitrage or exchange business wherever you are doing the business from. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.